Hey guys, it's Ian, and we are doing a different commentating style. Right now, you are watching a game of the Hunger Games, but I'm not actually commentating during the Hunger Games. This is not a live comm. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the story of Steve. And this is a story that I wrote back in 8th grade in the beginning of the year, and it is quite a long story. It has two parts, and typed out, I remember it was around 25 pages or 17, somewhere around there. It's a very long story, and it took me forever. I am reading this. This is the first draft. This is from my notebook because I lost the file that I typed out, the final draft. So, my handwriting is awful. Like, it is god awful. So, I might guess on some words simply because I have trouble reading my handwriting sometimes. So, we are going to start here. So, the story of Steve, already messed up. This was written on the 7th of September in 2012. So, as every good story starts, once upon a time, in a galaxy far, 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 far away, on the round planet of Mindtopia, lived Steve. Steve was just born in Mindtopia on Alpha Day. I said Alpaca Day. Alpha Day. Alpha Day is the day Mindtopia was done being built. Steve's parents are Bill and Jessica. They were so proud of their son, but he was oddly shaped. He was in the form of a box. His head was square, and his arms, legs, and body were rectangles. But even so, they loved him. On Steve's first birthday, something terrible happened. One of the scientists at the lab had accidentally released a top-secret mutant virus. It spread like the Black Plague, and soon the entire population was turning into zombies, spiders, skeletons, explosive four-legged creatures called creepers, and tall, slim black figures called endermen. The soldiers and archers lived to kill them. Oh, tried to kill them. See, I'm telling you, my handwriting's awful. Tried to kill them, but there were too many of them. The skeletons collected the bows and began to use them. It was complete chaos. Bill and Jessica went and hid Steve in a freeze chamber, where he was to awaken in 1,000 years when hopefully things would be better. Bill went off with the other people of Mindtopia, and they are all minors. Oh, in parentheses, they are all minors. The women also fought too, but alas, they did not prevail. The world was now flipping pages. Ooh, I just hit the mic. Sorry about that. I apologize. Not really. Overrun by the deadly creatures, Steve was the last and only human being left on the planet. Any others left were caught and banned to a hell-like prison called the Nether. In the Nether, they were transformed into zombie pigmen. They are exactly what their name suggests. They were given gold swords to kill whoever visited, but they only attack if attacked first. Others turned into giant white squid-like things that flew through the Nether, shooting explosive fireballs at anything that was human. And then I continue the story on the 10th of September on the 12th. Over the years, Mindtopia began. This is a new paragraph, by the way. Yeah, not that great as a narrator, but I'm going to try my best. So over the years, Mindtopia began to return to its unurbanized state. The giant buildings that once stood began to decay, and the mine shafts became buried by dirt and gravel. The skies that were once gray with pollution became clear. The animals roamed free once more, and vegetation prospered. The number of evil mobs that once ruled the planet has receded, but not fully. There are still many of them hidden in the darkness of caves, underpasses, and especially night. Steve, exactly 1,000 years later, woke up from the freeze chamber in a small dirt hole. He found out that if he punched the dirt enough times, it'd break, but into smaller versions. That's strange, he thought. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic because I'm flipping the book and I keep bumping my pop filter. Anyways, when he dug himself out of the dirt hole and onto the surface, he noticed something different. Very different. The world of Mindtopia had changed from its natural, abstract form to a world of blocks. Everything was in the shape of blocks. The virus that had transformed or killed all but Steve turned the world that had the virus that had transformed or killed all but Steve transformed everything into blocks. Yeah. See, when I write really fast. And all right, continuing on the story. The trees, the leaves, the grass, the stone, everything. While Steve was wondering how Mindtopia turned from a round planet to a cube, a strange animal appeared. It was pink, had 2 eyes, and a curly tail. "A pig!" exclaimed Steve. "All of the animals have been changed to block form too." "This is insane," called out Steve. "How am I going to survive?" Survive. He then proceeded to find the nearest tree and punch it. After several punches, the wood broke into a smaller form just like the dirt did. "Did I just punch a tree down?" questioned Steve. "Oh my notch, I did!" he exclaimed. Steve finished cutting the tree down, wood block by wood block, with his fist. "I'm invincible," said Steve. "I have a hand of steel." Steve would soon find that he'd need more than his unbreaking hand to survive in the beautiful but unrelenting world of Mindtopia. "I need a place to hold all of this stuff," said Steve. "Maybe I can skin a cow and eat some together. Eat some leather. Get some leather, not eat some leather." Steve then found a cow and proceeded to flipping pages, to beat it to death with his fist. When the cow died, something even stranger than the world being made out of blocks happened. Whatever. The cow disappeared, and what was left behind was leather and now beef. "What the heck just happened? Where'd the cow go?" yelled Steve. "Well, at least I can make a backpack out of leather," said Steve. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed already, this is kind of a background of Minecraft in general and how Steve is discovering how to do things in the actual world. I modified a bit of stuff just so that it kind of makes sense, because as you know, in Minecraft you don't have to make a backpack, you just have to press E and you have a backpack. But this makes a little more sense to make one. Anyways, continuing on. When he was alone making his backpack, he put the small blocks into it. When he was done making his backpack, he put the small blocks in it. There we go. When he opened his backpack, he saw something other than the smaller blocks. A 2x2 square with 4 smaller 1x1 squares in it. "What's this?" said Steve. The smaller versions of the blocks fit perfectly in those little blocks." Hold on, I got a burp. It says holes, by the way, not blocks. Woo! I'm drinking LaCroix because sparkling water is awesome. One sec. Alright, let's get back to reading. He then tried putting all the little blocks that were in his backpack into the squares. He put the dirt in, and nothing came out. He put the raw wood in, and whoa! The raw wood produces 4 wood planks? That's new, said Steve. I wonder what happened when I fill these squares with these 4 wooden planks. Period. Quotation mark. Steve then filled the square with wooden planks, and out came another block. A crafting bench. I've heard about these. I can create any tool I want with this, exclaimed Steve. But I need sticks. How am I going to get sticks? There aren't any on the ground. How do I make sticks? Said Steve frustratedly, and I don't know if any of you know this. Of my 8 subscribers here, I'm gonna keep, I'm serious right now. I'm gonna keep saying 8 subscribers until I get more 8 subscribers, and then more, and then, don't worry about it. So if you don't know about this, sticks are probably the thing that confuses most people on how to craft when they first begin Minecraft. If you haven't watched Rooster Teeth, in their first Minecraft Let's Plays, it's really funny. Anyway, he tried making some more wooden planks and putting them in several combinations. Maybe if I put it on the crafting bench, it will make sticks. Maybe the size difference will help, said Steve. I don't even know how that makes sense. The crafting bench Steve made differs from the smaller one in his backpack, since the crafting bench is 3 1x1 squares by 3 1x1 squares. Instead of 2 1x1 squares by 2 1x1 squares. But even when he put the wooden planks in the crafting bench, no sticks would appear. Ugh, this is so frustrating, exclaimed Steve. Why don't I try putting them in a vertical line like sticks? That sound you heard was my virtual machine restarting. I do not know if you actually heard that, but if you did, that's what it was. Uh, let's see. Like sticks, said Steve. When he did this, he got 4 sticks per vertical 2x1 rectangle. Yeah, there we go. I did it! I made sticks! Exclaimed Steve. Steve then proceeded to make, but what? I don't even know what that says. Bossy tools for himself? I don't even know. In the olden days, all newborn babies were taught how to make basic tools. Oh, basic tools for himself. There we go. So in the olden days, all newborn babies were taught how to make basic tools, from wooden tools to stone tools to iron ones to gold ones to diamond ones. Even after 1,000 years in the freeze chamber, Steve is in his now middle-aged state, still remembers his lessons. Yeah. Okay, so I put 1 stick on top of another in the middle, and then 3 wooden planks around it to the left. Steve said to himself, an axe. I think, aha, there we go, aha, an axe. Now I can chop down some more trees. I need more wood to make some tools and a house. Yeah. Alright. Then, said Steve. There we go. After several hours of cutting, Steve had 128 blocks of wood in his backpack. This is going to last me a long time, exclaimed Steve. Steve then turned all of the wood into wooden planks and made half of the wood planks into sticks. I need more water. My mouth is getting really dry. And I'm going to have to be talking for half an hour, so. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Alright, let's see. Steve then turned all of the wood into wooden planks and made half of the wood planks into sticks. In his crafting bench, he made 2 wooden pickaxes. Oh, he made a wooden see, back in the day, in the beginning of 8th grade, I tried changing my handwriting so that A's would kind of look like those ones that you find in, like, Word, where it's, like, all curvy and fancy and all that. It was really hard to read, considering that my A's then turned into, they started looking like 2's. It was not a good time for me, and for anyone else who had to revise my paper. He dug down. Had to burp again. He dug down with his pickaxe until he found Steve Stone. Yeah, he found himself. Steve then mined up several stone, which turned into cobblestone after being mined. Steve then went back to the crafting bench and made stone tools. He found some coal ore, which he mined out, but instead of giving him coal ore back, in a smaller form, it gave him coal directly. This is so convenient. I don't have to smelt the ore, said Steve happily. As the sky became dark, he realized he needed a light source. He played around with the sticks and coal, but it took a very long time to figure it out. It was already nighttime. He found that it was already nighttime, alright, whatever, 8th grade Ian. He found that if you put coal on top of sticks in his backpack crafting box, or his what? He made infinitely fueled torches that wouldn't watch everything on, what? What does it say? That wouldn't watch everything on, that wouldn't catch everything on fire and are able to be picked up. Dad placed in his what? Ian, what did you write? What the heck? To be picked up and placed in his backpack. There we go. See, now my A's turned into D's, not 2's. Like, what the heck? Okay, whatever. This is so strange. I've never known that infinitely fueled torches were possible, exclaimed Steve. After making torches, I'm assuming that means torches to my small self. Like, lots of this hammering is faint. He made a horse house out of the cobblestone. He made a horse out of cobblestone, whatever. He also made a door by putting a 3x2 rectangle in his crafting bench. When he was done building his house, he went to find food. But Steve shouldn't have gone out at night. Night is when the monsters come out. Yes, it is. While brutally murdering pigs, cows, and chickens for food, a creeper crept up behind him. What the? And then the creeper exploded. Steve was just barely alive. He jumped back into his house with the food he had gathered. He made a furnace to cook them in and waited for his raw beef, perhaps from pigs. Oh, pork chops from pigs and chicken were done cooking. I can read that for a second there. With most of my hand. After he ate in the what? After he ate in full, he noticed something extraordinary. I still don't know what that says. It's a D. I think that's a U. That looks like a 2, and I believe that's a backwards C. When he was full, his wounds healed. This is so amazing, exclaimed Steve. All I have to do is eat and I'll be better again, Steve exclaimed. At that exact moment, a creeper went up to the side of his house. Oh, I love this part. I haven't even read this. What? Alright, where'd he go? As Steve walked out to go get more food, the creeper exploded! The classic creeper example of death machine. What? What am I saying? I've been talking too long. From point-blank range, Steve didn't stand a chance. He exploded and all the stuff that was in his backpack fell out. Ugh, where am I? Asked Steve. What? How am I alive? Steve had resurrected right where he died. Where he... What? Right where he woke up. Sure, that's... Well, what the... And then some stuff. Alright, gotta keep turning pages. Because this continues on. Okay, some random stories. Oh, I guess we're on part 2 now. Alright, part 2. Awesome. 10 more minutes left. Fantastic. If you're wondering, I know the timing of the video. So, I believe at this moment, I'm running because I'm a coward when it comes to Hunger Games. Or I'm getting chess. Something along that lines. How did this happen? Asked Steve. This is part 2, just so you know. The story continued on the 28th of September, back in 2012 still. Why am I the main character? This is not right. Oh, here we go. How is this possible? How am I still alive? Here, let me read back the other part. One sec. So, Steve had resurrected right where he did when he woke up. What the? How is this possible? How am I still alive? I'm invincible, exclaimed Steve. He then tried to move, but unsuccessfully. Why can't I move? Asked Steve. Suddenly, he headed a few clicks. I really hope this says clicks, otherwise it says Johnson. Dick's Sporting Goods. And then he was in total darkness. No, he heard a few clicks. Not Dick's Sporting Goods. And then he was in total darkness. Oh my notch. I'm in a game. And I'm the main character. Dun dun dun. Plot twist. Gotta flip pages before I start again. Alright, now we're in part 2. The story of Steve, part 2. How did this happen? Asked Steve. Why am I the main character? This is terrible. I have to get out of here. Steve urged himself to move, but it was terribly hard. Almost there, exclaimed Steve. Aha! I'm free. Jesus. Alright. Steve broke free of the mysterious hold, but it was still dark. Steve took one step forward, and immediately after, the entire world was lit up again. Now Steve could control himself. He was no longer at the mercy of whoever was using the keyboard and mouse. Steve would move freely about Mindtopia. Alright, gotta take another drink break. Woo! Alright. We still got 7 minutes left. I'm going to probably cut out around 26 just because deathmatch will come up, and I want you to see who wins. I don't know if 26, what happens exactly at that moment. I don't know. I might be already be dead. I don't remember anything from the clip. So anyway. Phew! I'm glad that's over. I thought I was going to be stuck there forever, exclaimed Steve. Now what am I going to do about this person that controls me? That wants controlling... That was controlling me? I don't know. That was controlling me. That's not a D, that's an A. Good job, Ian. I have to prevent him from doing it again. And the only option I can think of is to kill him. But I'll have to get myself prepared. Steve then went off to look for the supplies he lost when the creeper exploded him. He traded his tricks back. What? He traced his tracks back. There we go. To the little shack he had made and placed everything back in his backpack. These stone tools aren't going to cut it. And I need armor as well. I'm going to need some iron tools and armor to start off. I'll upgrade a diamond later, said Steve to himself. Steve then took his pickaxe, sword, took his pickaxe, shovel, and torches, and dug down until he came across some iron ore. He mined the ore out with his stone pickaxe, but sadly, the ore didn't give the item when mined, unlike coal. So after he mined up the vein of iron ore, he headed back up, put the iron ore in the furnace, and smelted it. When he had smelted the iron, he took a look inside the furnace, and what lay in front of him were iron ingots. He took these out of the furnace and made iron tools. An iron shovel... I just checked to make sure my mic wasn't muted. An iron shovel, an iron pickaxe, an iron shovel... an iron sword, an iron pickaxe, an iron shovel, and an iron axe. Perfect. Now to go hunt for some more resources. I need to be... a reporter for long mining journey. What? Oh, I need to be prepared for my long mining journey, exclaimed Steve. But as he said this, he felt a wave of tiredness crash over him. Oh man, I'm really tired, but I don't want to sleep on the floor. I want to sleep on a bed. Now this is going to be a paragraph simply for making a bed, so just stay with me here, exclaimed Steve. Now what do I need to make a bed? Well, well, I messed up, I need wood for the bottom and wool for the top. Okay, so I have to shear some sheep and get some more wood, Steve thought to himself. He then went outside and cut down more trees. He got another couple hundred wooden blocks and then went back into his house to eat. After he ate, he made some shears by putting 2 iron ingots diagonal from each other and went off to find some sheep he could shear. I don't know how you would sleep, shear, sleep. Once he found the sheep, he took the shears and stripped the sheep of his wool. But even this in black form. What? But even this was in block form, not black form. That's weird. However, Steve was already used to everything being blocks, so he just picked up the blocking wool. I don't even know. And left the sheep to its own devices, whatever. Yeah. Steve went back to his house and made his bed by putting 3 wool blocks on top of 3 wood blocks on the bottom 2 rows. Now I have a bed to sleep in, and perfect timing too. It just turned nighttime, said Steve. He then crawled into his bed and fell asleep. But in a few seconds, he was wide awake, and it was morning. What happened? Surely the night wasn't that short. How am I so energetic? I only slept for 5 seconds, exclaimed Steve. It must be part of this whole I'm in a game situation. Well, it works out for me because now I can get more done. Now, what was I going to do before this? Oh yes, I was going to go mining. Let's see. Is my inventory all set? Yep, plenty of torches, iron pickaxe, iron shovel, and iron sword. Okay, I'm ready to go. Steve then left his horse and with his shovel and pickaxe began to make a staircase downwards. And I'm going to continue on for a little bit. After several minutes, Steve had mined into something that was very hard block. And very hard black and made seeing very difficult. I bet it's just a normal block. Nothing my pickaxe can't handle, exclaimed Steve. But Steve even found out that this was no ordinary block. The block is called bedrock and is impossible to break, even with a diamond pickaxe. Okay, I'm done with this. You know what, block? Stay there. I don't care about you, exclaimed Steve frustratedly. Steve then began his second while still mumbling angrily to himself. Yeah, I don't even know what it says. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. We're gonna stop right there, and we will continue in the next Hunger Games. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay classy, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. This is the death match, I believe, coming up soon, so I'm gonna let you watch that. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and start sharing it, as well as liking and subscribing to my channel, simply because we don't have a big enough audience, and I think that, just shoot the mic, god dang it. Yeah, go ahead, share it, tell your friends about it. It doesn't take long, and frankly, people would be a lot better off if they were watching my channel. It sounds arrogant, but don't worry about it, it's fine. So, yeah, I'm going to go, so, bye-bye.